What happens when the people who are supposed to protect a child become the very monsters she needs protection from? What do you do when your only lifeline becomes the reason for your suffering? This is the haunting story of Amari Hall, an innocent 8-year-old girl with autism, whose voice was silenced, whose suffering was ignored, and whose death shocked even the most hardened investigators. Her final moments weren't just tragic, they were inhumane. And what investigators uncovered next would reveal a nightmare so chilling, it left an entire courtroom in tears.
Transitioned from a missing person case to indeed a homicide case.
Before we begin, our hearts go out to the family of Amari Hall, especially her surviving siblings, who endured unthinkable trauma. This story is told not to sensationalize, but to honor Amari's memory and speak truth to what was done in the dark. Welcome to True Crime Diaries, where we dig beneath the headlines to uncover the disturbing, the heartbreaking, and the shocking. If you want to stay updated on stories like this, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Today's case is about 8-year-old Amari Hall, a young autistic girl who vanished from a Georgia motel, triggering a desperate search. But what police uncovered wasn't a case of a missing child. It was a case of unthinkable cruelty, abuse, and murder at the hands of the people who were supposed to protect her. On the evening of November 21st, 2021, a chilling 911 call rang through the Gwinnett County Dispatch Center in Georgia. The voice on the line was panicked, trembling. It was Britney Hall reporting that her 8-year-old daughter, Nicole Amari Hall, who preferred to go by Amari, had vanished from the family's room at the Hometown Studios extended stay motel. Her words were frantic. "She's missing. She's autistic. She's been gone for hours and it's getting cold out." For any police department, a missing child case triggers an all-hands-on-deck response. But when that child has autism and is particularly vulnerable to environmental stress, urgency becomes desperation. Officers arrived at the motel quickly. They went room to room. Helicopters buzzed overhead. Canines sniffed through nearby woods and parking lots. Amari lived in isolation. The family, Britney, her girlfriend Celeste Owens, and Amari's 2 younger siblings, had been residing at the extended stay motel since summer. The children weren't enrolled in school. They were homeschooled. That meant no teachers, no classmates, no neighbors to notice if something went wrong. Amari's world was small, closed off, and now completely silent. Posters of Amari were printed and distributed immediately. She was last seen wearing a Tweety Bird jacket and blue and white pajamas. But things weren't adding up. Surveillance cameras around the motel and surrounding businesses were thoroughly reviewed. No footage showed Amari leaving the property. No footage showed Britney or Celeste frantically searching for her. No urgency, no concern. That silence spoke volumes. Investigators spoke with Amari's younger siblings. What they revealed changed the tone of the entire case. Amari's 6-year-old sister, Zir, told detectives that Amari had been taken to the Bad Kids Hospital. It wasn't a place. It was a warning, a term used by Celeste to scare the children. She also stated, "Amari did something bad, and she's not coming back." That chilling phrase was the first concrete clue that Amari wasn't just missing. She was likely dead. Police pressed Celeste and Britney. Their stories were full of inconsistencies. Celeste said Amari was with a relative. Britney denied that. Celeste even slipped, referring to Amari by the name Maureen during questioning, raising even more suspicion.
Saturday, from the moment you woke up, I want to know everything you did, all the way until the moment you
Saturday, I woke up, I went to the store.
Okay, what time was that?
Saturday, I woke up, went to the store, it had to be around 11. Couldn't have been after 12 because I don't like shopping that early. Then I came back.
What happens right after that?
Right after that, too, I leave.
Okay, you leave. Where'd you go?
I went with my sister back to my grandma's house.
So you and your sister go to grandma's house. So when you got back from grandma's house, you said that was 4 or 5 p.m.?
No, 8 a.m.
Then came the bombshell. Celeste had rented a U-Haul truck 2 days before she ever called 911. Investigation. With mounting suspicion, detectives turned to the data. Surveillance footage showed Celeste at a U-Haul facility on November 19th. GPS data from her phone matched her route, from the hotel to the U-Haul, then deep into neighboring DeKalb County. She returned a few hours later. And then, 2 days of silence. Then came the 911 call. On November 23rd, following the digital trail, police discovered Amari's body in a wooded area off the road in DeKalb County. She was wrapped tightly in 2 black trash bags, her body decomposing, left in the woods like garbage. The autopsy was brutal. Blunt force trauma, fractured bones, malnourishment, signs of long-term abuse. Amari wasn't just killed, she was broken, starved, discarded. And this wasn't a one-time event. This was a pattern.
Turn the other way. Fuck you, fool. Turn around, put your hands up. I said swallow the food first, then take another bite, because she dropped the mashed potatoes everywhere and tried to scoop out the part from the spoon. She stopped and finally trying to keep going after I said stop. So I'll slap her cigarette.
Back in the hotel, police found evidence of physical abuse on the surviving children. They were bruised, they were thin, they were afraid. But that wasn't the end. When police examined Celeste Owens' phone, they uncovered a trove of disturbing videos. More than a dozen clips showed Celeste and Britney physically abusing all 3 children. One video showed a child with toilet paper stuffed into their mouth. Others captured Amari being hit. The level of sadism was horrifying. But even worse, Celeste had deliberately filmed it.
Hall.
Thank you, ma'am. How old are you?
9 years old.
When you lived with your mom and Celeste in the apartment, what would you do then?
I don't know.
Did you watch TV?
No.
Did you play on your phone?
At that time, I didn't have a phone.
Okay. Did you play with toys?
We didn't have toys.
What things did you do since you didn't have toys and a phone and TV?
We looked at the wall and yeah, that's all I can think of for right now.
Just looked at the wall. When you lived there, did you get spankings?
Yes.
When you lived in the apartment with your mom and Celeste, where did you sleep?
On the floor.
Did you have a pillow?
I don't think so.
Did you have blankets?
Maybe. I don't know.
That's okay. Where did your brother sleep?
On the floor as well.
Where did your sister Amari sleep?
On the floor.
Did your brother ever get spankings?
Yes.
Did your sister get spankings?
Yes.
The last time you saw your sister?
Yes. My sister went to the bathroom and when she came out, Whitney told her to open her mouth, and she had toilet paper in her mouth. And the next morning, she wouldn't wake up, and yeah.
Wouldn't wake up, okay. What else happened after that?
Next morning, Whitney tried to wake her up, and then after that, she got put in a container with a lid on it, and got put in the trunk of a car and drove to the bad kids hospital.
Who put her in the tub?
Celeste.
And where did you say she took her?
To the bad to the bad hospital where kids go.
Have you been to the bad kids hospital?
No.
How do you know that's where Amari went?
Celeste talked about it a lot.
What part of your body is that?
My back.
Do you see the marks on your back in that picture?
Yes,
Do you remember where those came from?
I think so.
Okay, where do you think they came from?
A belt.
Her phone's Google search history told the rest of the story. Why do kids run away? How to report someone missing? How do sewer systems work? Lakes near me. How do you hide a body? Each search was time-stamped, all on November 19th, before the 911 call. This wasn't panic. This was premeditation. If you're still watching and this case has gripped your heart the way it has ours, take a moment to hit the like button, leave a comment below, and subscribe to the channel for more true crime stories that matter. Let us know how you feel about this heartbreaking case. Your voice helps keep Amari's memory alive.
In the wood line.
Within the next several hours, we will charge Celeste Owens with felony murder in connection with the death of Amari Hall. Additionally, Britney Hall will be charged with concealing the death of another. We will continue to also investigate her role in this murder. We are happy to bring these individuals to justice. And I'd like to, once again, to thank the officers here. I'd also like to thank the residents at the Hometown Studios who were very helpful in our investigation as we searched door to door for Amari.
In court, the prosecution, led by Sabrina Nazam, presented this evidence with precision. Nazam began with one of the abusive videos, playing it for the jury. The room fell silent. Some jurors wept. Others looked away. It was undeniable. Amari's little sister, Ziri, testified via video for her own safety. She detailed what she witnessed, the punishments, the threats, the night Amari went away. Her words were clear, heartbreaking, and courageous. The defense tried to discredit the family members. They questioned Barbara Wright, Amari's grandmother and Britney's mother. But Barbara's answers only highlighted the dysfunction. Was Amari ever diagnosed with autism? Not that I know of. Was she underweight? No. When did you last see her? I was calling. I couldn't find them. Despite claiming she was concerned, Barbara never filed a missing persons report. She never contacted authorities. Her testimony, meant to defend her daughter, did the opposite.
No.
Underweight, in your opinion?
No.
And you don't recall the last time you saw the kids in 21?
No, because we was calling looking for them.
Were you ever aware that Britney was inflicting corporal punishment on the three kids?
No.
When did you learn that?
When I saw it for the first time.
You saw the video of her stomping on your grandchildren?
No, I saw the video when news people had it on news when the case, when they found them, and I saw them when I went to the courthouse. I saw it.
You weren't aware that your daughter was stomping on them?
No.
Medical examiners took the stand. The injuries Amari sustained were graphic: broken ribs, bruises in various stages of healing, internal bleeding. Her injuries were consistent with prolonged abuse. Her cause of death was homicide due to blunt force trauma. But what killed her wasn't one blow. It was a pattern of suffering.
Description to describe multiple wounds in multiple locations in multiple stages of healing. That is, a child who has been abused with injuries in multiple different areas that happened at different times, so different episodes.
The jury didn't take long. Celeste Owens was found guilty on all counts: malice murder, felony murder, cruelty to children, multiple counts, hindering law enforcement, concealing a body.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you just glimpsed is 90 seconds, just 90 seconds, of the life that 8-year-old Amari Hall, her 6-year-old sister Zaire, and their 5-year-old brother Jakari Hall lived. in the care of this defendant. The state will expect the evidence to show you that the young child in the middle, who was slapped so hard that her head swung back, is 8-year-old Amari Hall. Her brother Jakari, who's 5, is laying on the ground in the video blindfolded with a sheet covering him as he is stomped and slapped by this defendant. And the evidence will show you that 5-year-old Zaire, who is sitting in the corner, sleeping, who is kicked and pushed so hard into the wall by this defendant, and the one who was slapped so hard and her food taken away, that all 3 of those little children were under the care of this defendant and their mother, Britney Hall. Ladies and gentlemen, over the next several days, the story of the life, the murder, and the subsequent investigation into the death of Amari and the abuse of her little sister and little brother will unfold before you. It will unfold in the form of testimony, in the form of videos, in the form of photographs. And what you will learn is that 4 months after this video was made, Amari is dead. She is found naked, wrapped in garbage bags, and thrown into the woods. And the evidence will show by this defendant. You will learn, ladies and gentlemen, that it took 2 people to kill Amari. It took 2 people to cover up Amari's murder. It took 1 person to dump her body in the woods, you will learn. It took 2 people to beat Jakari and to beat Zaire. And that's why, in this bill of indictment, they are charged as parties to a crime. That means people together who work together to accomplish the crime. And it doesn't matter, the evidence will show who delivered the fatal blow, who didn't, because you will find Dr. Downs, the medical examiner, will tell you that Amari suffered from battered child syndrome. There was a series of different injuries that ultimately led to her death. And she weighed 54 pounds. She was malnourished. You will hear that from Dr. Downs. Sometimes the truth is right there, crystal clear. And the evidence will show, through the testimony of the witnesses, through the photographs, through the battered body of Amari, that this defendant is guilty of every single count in which she is charged, which is 20 out of the 21 counts in this indictment.
Your verdict on the evidence or the lack thereof. Plain and simple. There's no direct evidence she killed Amari.
Her sentence, life without the possibility of parole, plus 235 years.
Count 2, felony murder, guilty. Count 3, felony murder, guilty. Count 4, felony murder, guilty. Count 5, cruelty to children in the first degree, guilty.
She was found guilty of everything. Some charges merged together. They were duplicitous.
The judge spoke directly to her. You will never see the light of day to commit this kind of evil again. Britney Hall, Amari's own mother, is still awaiting trial. But her second statement to police threw Celeste under the bus. Because of that, the court severed their trials. "My heart is broken in millions of pieces," said Amari's grandmother. "I'll never get to see her go to prom. I'll never teach her how to drive."
Yes, Amari. Every day, my granddaughter did not deserve the way that she was taken out of this world. I would never get to teach her how to drive. I would even never get to see her go to a prom. Do the things that grandmom do with their granddaughters. All these things I'm gonna miss. With Amari.
"This is the most evil I've seen in 30 years, said the judge. "There's no understanding it. She wasn't just beaten. She was starved, tortured, and discarded like trash," said Prosecutor Nazam. "She said Amari went to the bad kids hospital," said Little Zier. "But I knew she wasn't coming back." The story unfolds piece by piece. A frantic 911 call. A missing girl who never left the hotel. A lie unraveled by a child. A digital trail leading to a shallow grave. Videos from a phone that left jurors stunned. A search history that confirmed everything. Every step made one thing clearer.
Owens, would you like to speak? Ms. Owens, please stand. I've been a jurist for 25 years. This is by far the most heinous evil that I have ever seen in my entire career. And I do not understand it. The crimes and evil that was perpetrated against these 3 children is something that I will never understand. Nor will I ever forget it. Based on that, the court does hereby sentence you as follows. Account 1, malice murder. You are hereby sentenced to life without the possibility of parole. On the remaining counts, the court does hereby sentence you to consecutive 235 years. So life without parole plus 235 years. You will never see the light of day to perpetrate this type of behavior, cruelty, and evilness upon another person.
Amari didn't vanish. She was erased. Amari Hall deserved more than this world ever gave her. She deserved joy, safety, and unconditional love. Instead, she lived in fear. She died in silence, and she was found, not embraced, but wrapped in trash bags, hidden from the world. Yet her story, now told, will never be hidden again. Her siblings are safe. Her killers have been exposed. And Amari, though gone, is finally free from pain. Let her name be a warning. Let her memory be a call to protect the vulnerable. And let us never again let a child suffer like this, unheard. Rest in peace, Amari. You were seen, you were loved, and you will never be forgotten. If this story moved you, don't let it end here. Help us shine a light on more forgotten victims by liking this video, sharing it with others, and subscribing for future episodes. What are your thoughts on justice in Amari's case? Drop them in the comments. We read every one. Until next time, stay safe and stay informed.